Everyone, happy Thursday. Welcome to this live. We're going to be talking about, you know, living child free. And that did you know that that's even a thing and it's actually growing, and more women, especially women, are intentionally choosing life without kids, which is something that I definitely did. And that really includes, plenty of powerful purpose-driven entrepreneurs like myself and like my guest here, Tiffany Kellogg. And today we're going to be talking about this subject and how we can really, and we're going to teach you a way or tell you a way about how you can collaborate with other entrepreneurs who are also living child free. So if you don't know me, hi, I'm Elisa Bogarts. I help coaches launch their online programs and events, and I help them do it with ease so they can really focus on scaling their business. I've got over 15 years of project management experience, and I use this to get my clients ready to launch in a really structured and organized way, and also in a way that isn't overwhelming, because launching can be super overwhelming. And I work with their team by keeping everyone focused on the tasks, and I create a customized launch plan. And this way the coach can be out, they can be speaking and selling and filling their events, just knowing that everything's taken care of. So I basically figure out everything you need to do for your launch, when it needs to get done. I can do the tech for you too, and then work with your team to get it all done. And today I have Tiffany Kellogg with me. Today, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Tiffany Kellogg, and I entered the entrepreneurial world in 2003 and totally fell in love with what we get to do. And nowadays, I work with entrepreneurs to help them have, it's over here on the wall, kind of. I help them have more money, more time, and more fun, whether it's by more referrals, networking efficiently, or just how do we have that free time in our life.
Yes, which we all need. I think that's one of the biggest, at least for me, and I hear it everywhere. Maybe it's just because I'm attuned to it now. But it's that whole kind of freedom is a reason I think that a lot of us get into it. And so you want to have that time back, right? You want to have fun, and you want to have that sort of bring that freedom into your entrepreneurship. So
yeah. And that's the thing that most entrepreneurs don't get to have unless they do it on purpose. And they're smart and hire people like you to take care of the non things. I have to talk if it's me talking. So you got to do your kind of thing. But yeah, have amazing experts take care of all the stuff that's not you talking. It's such a smart way to do business.
Yeah, totally. I was, we were both at an event today, and they were talking about that, about, what is it? There's your zone of genius and your zone of excellence, and how to actually collaborate with people that are, their genius is your excellence. So that even though you're really, really good at something, doesn't necessarily mean you should always be doing it. So you should be focusing on your zone of genius. And even though you're excellent at stuff, maybe you could let other people do that. So I thought that was
that's so funny. One of our breakout rooms, they said, okay, who all knows and loves AI? And yeah. And they're all right, who wants to do a summit talking about using AI use in November? And everybody but me raised their hand. I'm Tiffany, you don't want to? I'm yeah, no. Referrals, networking, more time. And now this whole child free thing. I'm I love AI, but that is not my wheelhouse. Let others handle that.
Yeah, I'll use it. But let other handle it. Not an expert anyway. So yeah, let's talk about being a child-free woman in this world, and as an entrepreneur. What's the kind of a question that you get that you're don't love getting when it kind of comes to the subject?
Yeah, so I don't mind if people want to ask me if I'm having kids. I'm fine with that. And, do you have any kids? No. Are you planning on it? No. I'm okay if you want to ask me those questions, but then why? It's especially when you're in these business meetings, it's our first meeting. Do you really want to know me like that? I don't even know, we're just starting the relationship. Why are you asking me about my massive life choices? And you're not going to be happy with the answer that I give you. So you're going to try and convince me why your way is better and I still should have kids. And now the business meeting is all about Tiffany needs to procreate.
But it's no time or place for that kind of stuff. What's going on? Yeah, I find sometimes if I say that, and even though do you have kids and less than that, and they'll be well, that's okay. Sometimes I'm that was an interesting response, I guess. Or sometimes I see people say oh, it's not too late, or they try to relate to you in some way, and you're just let it be. It's okay. You have your choice. I have my choice. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And sometimes, I am by choice. I chose not to have kids. It was a choice, but there are a lot of people that are child free. And I like to say child free is people we're celebrating that we're living that life now, though sometimes it's by circumstance that people got there. And then childless is you don't have kids, but you would like kids or you wanted kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I love this, that we're kind of bringing this to the forefront, especially in your entrepreneurial, because I feel like, like, um, it's like having friends, like you can have a huge variety of friends, and many of my friends actually like do have kids, and like like it's all good, and it's the same in the entrepreneur world. But sometimes you kind of want to sort of get in where you fit in, and it's interesting that I noticed. So I like lived abroad and moved back to Vancouver about 9 years ago, and as I've kind of like was trying to find my tribe here, and find my friend groups, I realized I was just thinking about this. I was like, oh yeah, actually, three of my different friend groups they're all child-free people. I was like, that
Wow.
was so interesting. I was like, "That's not interesting," like, 9 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
That's
somehow
a
I don't even know if it was necessarily on purpose, but it was just sort of like it just kinda happened, and I just kinda had that realization, and I think it's really cool that that we can kinda have that, in business as well, right? It's kind of fun to be able to sort of network in those groups as well, and of course, it's great to network with, like, and everybody, and all the networking things that I go to are awesome, like, regardless of if you have children or not. But I think I love this idea of having this network of people in business as well that you can, like, connect with that way.
Yeah, and I always wanted to be part of those women's groups that, like, you see everybody on social, and they're like, "We went to this retreat, and it was great, and we just had this meeting, and it was wonderful," and they're like, "It's fabulous." And like, I go to those groups, and I'm like, "What were they talking about?" This is like, it's not that they were bad because they're amazing groups. I just didn't feel like I fit in, and I used to say they were too fluffy. I could not put my finger on it, but looking
Mm.
back, hindsight being 2020, it's how frequently the conversation goes to the kids. And here's the thing. I am very much, you want kids, have kids. More power to you. There are some child-free folks that are like, nobody should have kids, and that makes no sense whatsoever in my mind. Like, you want kids, have them, but if you don't, that's okay. And the number of times the conversation goes to kids, like, I've been watching
Mm.
speakers speak, and I'm counting how many stories are about their kids.
Right.
And again, talk about your kids all you want, that's fine, but occasionally it's nice to be in a space. Just like if you're a cat owner or a dog owner, you don't want to be hanging around a whole bunch of people that are,
Mhm.
anti.
Right. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, it definitely, yeah, changes the dynamic of it, and yeah, and then you kind of just and sometimes it can be, a non-inclusive conversation,
Right.
and so that can kind of change the dynamic of things, and
Because let me
yeah.
ask you, have you ever been told, well, you would understand if you were a parent? Or you would get
Yes.
this if you were a mom?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the best thing to have someone say. Bit of an
No.
ick feeling.
Like, I had this happen on Facebook this week. Somebody's like, "You would understand if you're a parent." And I'm like, "Me being a parent has nothing to do with the conversation, but thank you for pointing that out and letting me know I need to unfollow you."
Right. Yeah, yeah, and sometimes I think that, um the personal stuff doesn't necessarily need to be in those business relationships. And like you're saying, especially if it's like a beginning networking or you're in like some social thing or not so social thing, but it's like a networking event, specifically your breakout rooms, or you just met with somebody, you're gonna be JV partners or potential, like you don't need to get that personal quite yet. Like sometimes I don't think it really fits in the conversation. Like I'd much rather know them as a business owner and who they serve and how I can support them and like talk about that as opposed to um child preferences.
I get
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, when you what kind of draws you to want to be in like a network of child-free women?
Yeah, so what I am finding is entrepreneurs already are of a different mindset. They're very unique. Child-free people, different mindset because we're kind of bucking the traditions that have been surrounding us. So you put us together, and what I am finding is some very strong-willed, big personality women who are unapologetically themselves. The
Mm,
authenticity that these women embrace and showcase, not that I don't see it in other folks, but it's almost like it's expected versus unique because they're already
mm,
in that kind of mindset. And it is about, let's get to business. We had a mastermind, and being child free did not come up in the mastermind at all because it's not what it's about, but we were able to really focus and hone in on the business. And so it's just, I kind of joke with people. It's like if you had your Christian business group or your Muslim business group, it's just that flavor. It doesn't mean that we have to talk about it all the time. And we won't be talking about it a lot in Women Entrepreneurs because it's about being a women's group. How can we get to know each other, refer, support, enhance the community?
Exactly. And then the thing we have in common that brings us there is being
Right.
child-free. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that.
It's
Yeah. And I
great.
find that
20 and 30s. And we've got some women, and one gal, she's like in her 70s, like, I really wish we had this when I was younger. And I'm like, well, they still don't have it, but we're getting it. But I'm like, and you can help be that inspiration for the younger group. So it's a wide range of people and some unique professions and some of your standard professions. But there are some interesting women out there, and it's so fun to be able to connect with them.
Yeah. I love that. And I love that that's what brings it together. You did this amazing post. I think it was either last week or was it yesterday? Maybe it was
I think it was yesterday.
And I commented on it, and it was like this interesting history of child-free days. So it was way back in like 1973. It was
Yeah.
officially celebrated as a non-parents day, which was kind of cool. And then in 78, it became the National Alliance for optional parenthood.
Oh.
Yeah, which is really cool. And then 2013, it was relaunched as International Child Free Day, which is super awesome. And then 2023, it was taken global by the Child Free Media. And so I was just like, wow, what an evolution over the last like 50 years to get us to where we are now. And I didn't even know any of that existed until I saw your post. And I was like, wow, it's like this has actually been around for a while, but in kind of said differently.
Who would have ever? Yeah, I had I didn't know child free was a designation till December. So I certainly did not know that there was an International Child Free Day. However, when I was looking at launching, fall time, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit earlier than I was anticipating, but I have to do it that day.
Yes. So tell us about it. What's happening on August 1st?
Yeah. All right. So y'all, August 1st, 1:30 to 4:30 Eastern time, we are going to have our Connect, Collaborate, and Celebrate for International Child Free Day. It is only open. It's kind of the clubhouse style. Got to be a woman. Got to have a business, be an entrepreneur, 1099, whatever that is. And you got to be child free. What we're going to be doing is a mix. So it's not, hey, Tiffany's talking for 3 hours about being child free. We're going to kick it off. We're going to have a round of networking. And so everybody gets to share who they are and what they do. Then we're going to do a little mastermind. Then we're going to talk about how can we collaborate together. And my goal is to create like a long list of here's 50 things I can do for you and vice versa, so that we can all easily say, okay, how can I help you? Here are the options, because I want us to be able to easily help each other. And then we're going to do some more networking speed rounds, no breakouts, mastermind. And then we'll wrap up with our third round of networking. So, because some people are like, I can't be there for the whole thing, which I get. You want to, but sometimes life happens. So we will have one round of networking during each hour.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So you can definitely like not miss out, at least get some networking in, which is super
right.
cool.
Yeah. So that way if people can only come to the first half, they still get, because I know sometimes you're at an event and it's like 3 hours later, everybody's doing introductions, but people miss the beginning or people miss the end. So where you do, instead of like one long, we do 3 smaller. Some people say that's because of my ADHD brain and I want to stay engaged. I'm like, for whatever reason, we'll just do 3 rounds of networking. So we get to know, because what I'm finding is I am not the only woman that likes networking with other child-free women.
Exactly. Yeah. What an amazing opportunity to do that, and an amazing like safe space to do that as well. And also be surrounded by these powerhouse women with powerhouse entrepreneurs who also happen to be child free. And I think, I'm just super excited for it. I can't wait to go. I plan to be there the entire time and get all the networking and masterminding. And I love the agenda of it, because there's so many different things that we can do and how we can support each other differently. And always interested to, or excited to meet other child-free women. And then I just think that, you never know what relationships can come out of that. And I'm like super excited about that too. So I'm sure there's gonna be some amazing women there.
All right. Awesome. Sorry, internet or the internet was wonky.
Something happened. Yes. I was just thinking about how excited I am to do the networking and maybe see the kind of relationships that might come out of it as well.
Yeah, to me, it's just nice to have that connection. Somebody was like, you know what I'm looking forward to is building a business relationship. And I did not say this, y'all, though I understand it, where the other person doesn't have the excuse of, oh, wasn't able to get that done because my kid was sick, or I can't do that because. Not that child-free people don't have our own sets of issues. I've got Guinness and Harper, and they are like number 2 and 3 in my world after my husband, because he's human. But they're, stuff happens, but they're like, I just like the idea of not having that constraint.
Yes, exactly. It's something we have to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd love for anyone listening to come join us on next Friday on August 1st and in the afternoon. And
Can you put your link in the comments for folks?
Yes, I absolutely will. And so usually it's $27, but Tiffany's got a deal for us.
Yes. So if you use coupon code, it doesn't matter caps or not, WELC98. So WELC is Women Entrepreneurs Living Child Free, which I figure at some point in time I have to me something like fun on the welcome. But so Women Entrepreneurs Living Child Free, WELC98 will get you the ticket for just $1.
Yes, that's so awesome.
We want you to play.
Yeah.
We may have the best referral for you. We just need to meet you first.
All for $1. And it'll be an amazing 3 hours. Yeah. And it'll be an amazing 3 hours. Oh, thank you so much. Any other sort of final words you want to say about either the event or Living Child Free or the networks and communities?
So the goal here is, if you're watching this and not child free, you may still be watching or not, you can be the hero to those child free people in your world, because I know that we don't get a lot of love, and it's not we're asking for a lot of love. It's not it's just if you think of us, tag them, share this video, share the post, let them know, hey, there's a community. You get to be the hero. And for the child free women out there, come on and play. I highly recommend that you be a part of 3 networks, and if you're child free, perhaps this is one of those 3 for you.
Indeed. And then we also get to celebrate the day as well, which is super cool because it's something I didn't even know existed. So I'm excited to celebrate that.
Yeah. Like if we were in person, I'd be like, all right, what time is the champagne toast? However, it's Zoom.
But
maybe we'll be like, all right, we're going to do, now I have to write down, all right, because we're going to need to do a toast, champagne, optional. Most people maybe water. I guess it depends on where in the world you're at. Oh, and speaking of in the world, I think we have 7 countries being represented to my knowledge. You're coming in from Canada. Yeah. We talked to a woman just from France. We've got Austria, the UK, Poland, Uganda, I think. Wow. So we are welcoming people from all around the globe.
Awesome. That's so amazing. I can't wait to meet them. It's going to be so great. Awesome. Yeah. So check out the link in the comments and use the coupon code WLC98 to get it for $1. And we hope to see you next Friday and celebrate you. And maybe the day before, because you're right. Depending on, it's going to be Friday afternoon for most people, at least in the North American. And as you're European, it'll be evening. So,
Nolene was like, what time of the day is it? I'm like, it's not usually Fridays. It's just happened to be what the day is. So we're going with it.
Yeah, we're going with it. It'll be all good. Perfect way to start the weekend, I think.
Love it. Thank you so very much for having me. Thank you so much for sharing this child-free community with all the folks watching.
Yeah, thank you so much too. It was a great conversation. We hope to see everybody there.